everyone, and welcome to the National University Podcast. My name is Samantha Wilcox, and I am your host for today's talk. Joining us is Dr. Xavier Riggle, the Associate Vice President in the Office of Graduate Studies at National University. Among his other responsibilities, Dr. Riggle oversees the Dissertation Completion Pathway here at NU. The Dissertation Completion Pathway, or DCP, is a structured program that recognizes the past academic coursework of a student while providing guidance for students to complete their dissertation. Dr. Riggle will be speaking with NU graduate, Dr. Xavier Israel. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, Dr. Riggle, I will pass the baton to you.
Thanks, Sam. So let's just get right to it. Xavier, let's begin by telling us a little bit about why you decided to complete your doctorate through the DCP program. And as Sam said a bit earlier, the DCP program is specifically designed to prepare students who were unfortunately unable to finish their dissertation at another academic institution to actually finish their dissertation with the close support of key faculty and courses here at the university. So Xavier, tell us a little bit about why you decided to complete your dissertation at NU.
Sure. So in short, I always felt like there was just something I hadn't completed yet. I was ABD, and of course, anyone watching knows that that's all by dissertation. And in reality, I actually had my dissertation with the academic writer already, with his other university, and I ran out of time because of some fires that were out here in California, and a cancer scare that I went through. So with all the treatments and everything that I'd gone through, I just ran out of time. And I knew that it was something that I had to get through. I had to finish it. On top of all those things, the original reason for even getting my doctorate was the idea of I work in an academic environment. I work with a lot of PhDs and EDDs and PsyDs, and it really is our world to do research and study. So I wanted to be among my peers. I wanted to be equal in my own mind. So to actually almost get there and then find myself not at the end, right when you thought you were going to be able to make it, it's kind of crushing, you know. It was a little bit soul crushing. So it was nice. It was actually fantastic to find a program like the one at NU that allowed me to use my prior experience and take that and move it forward to complete the process and actually get my doctorate.
So you mentioned that you had to overcome some pretty serious obstacles, fires and a health condition, and you pulled through. What do you think? What do you think really helped drive you through all of that and say, you know what, I'm going to finish this doctorate. I'm going to get this boulder off my back. What really helped push you to get it done?
Well, I'll be honest, and I thank you, by the way, Dr. Riggle, for sitting in on my dissertation. I think I brought it up then, and it wasn't prompted, I promise you. But National University's DCP with its one-to-one program, it was something that I hadn't seen in a lot of different places I had looked, and that one-to-one really made me. Basically, I had to either do it or get off the pot. Let's just put it in a nice way, right? So I knew that the challenge was, the onus was on me, not on anyone else. And honestly, everyone that was a part of the process, from just the original courses onto the DIS courses, they stayed so focused on making sure I knew that I could do it. And that included going to the intensive, which honestly, I'll tell you, I didn't think that was going to be worthwhile at first, but boy, was I ever surprised at how not only emotionally invigorating it was, but just how inspiring, the whole process was, and watching all of these other people, these colleagues that were going through the same thing. I realized I wasn't alone. And then to go back into having that one-to-one with with these instructors, with these professors, with these mentors, it just made all the difference. And then to find out that each of my mentors had, they had a whole group, I call them my cohort, that I didn't actually get to see on a day-to-day basis, but they were going through in their own little cubby, going through the same process. But it made it feel like, honestly, like I was there doing it alone in a way that that just was motivating. It was very encouraging.
Excellent. For those who are listening, the intensive is a 2.5-day face-to-face experience that DCP students go through, and it can be daunting. It can be a little fearful. It can also be, is this a waste of time? To your point, but I've attended every DCP intensive, and at the conclusion, everyone seems to be very, very powerfully motivated from the experience, not only academically, but to your point, also emotionally. You make those connections, and you realize you're not there in it by yourself. You have fellow students going through this. Everybody has kind of a challenging story. You can kind of share those thoughts and experiences, but you also get to meet some of the DCP faculty that will be working with students through the DCP bridge courses. So Xavier, tell me a little bit about those resources and extra supports that you may have taken advantage of when you were finishing your doctorate.
Oh, sure. So I did focus on the mentors, the course facilitators, but I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up the library staff and also the statistics coaches. Amazing people, so amazing. And some of them I did meet during the intensive, and to put faces to the names. It was almost like I was meeting, I guess I would equate it to what I would say someone who is into sports, or, is meeting a celebrity for me. I was like, oh my goodness, I've been working with you and you've been helping me out in the program, this program for so long. And now I get to put a face to the name. You're just as amazing in person as you were, throughout the course room. But really, all of the resources that were there, including, believe it or not, I want to call it the courtyard, but it's really the community area. It's
the
all
commons.
Of those things, be able to go in
commons.
There. The commons, yes. To have people talk and tell you, you got this. All of those things help. But for the staff and faculty, everyone at every step was right there with you. And I don't mean holding your hand. They would just encourage you and motivating you and making sure that you stayed on task, and if you were going down the wrong path, they weren't afraid to let you know. It's like, I don't know if that's the way you want to go. You might want to go back and do a little bit more research. Hey, what else did you find in the literature? It was so fantastic to have that, coming from every aspect of the program. Again, almost like I was on my own. And anytime I needed to work one-on-one, even though there were group studies, with the in the Academic Success Center, if I scheduled one, if I wanted a one-to-one, that worked for me. And honestly, even the they had some breakout sessions where you could just go and get it done, right? Let's get it done. It's almost like a study hall. I use those too. And to watch these coaches sit there and pop you into your own little rooms and then help you out. It's just fantastic. It really is. I'm so encouraged. Honestly, if there's an opportunity to go, even after I finished everything, if there's an opportunity to go back to an intensive just to be a part of that showcase and say, hey, you guys can do it, I might go. Just
Xavier, that's an idea. I won't forget that. That is an idea to be a motivational kind of person, because many of these students, they love to talk to alumni. What did you do? And how did you do this? And what to expect next? So I definitely have that noted. So tell me a little bit more now. We talked about resources and support from outside and some of the DCP instructors. Tell me a little bit about your dissertation committee. What was that relationship with your doctoral chair?
Well, my doctoral chair, amazing. Of course, she has the last name, Dr. Broderick has the last name of one of my favorite actors. So Matthew Broderick. And even before I even met her, when I saw the name, I was like, oh my goodness, MB, this can't be, is this who it is? And then I met her, and she was so much better than ever meeting, the celebrity. She was my own celebrity. She was just fantastic, so encouraging, always right there in my corner. Oh my gosh, I don't know. now I can see why others might have said certain things about their, certain positive things about their dissertation shares. She was phenomenal. She is phenomenal. I made a connection that I don't know that it goes beyond just being a mentor and a mentee. It goes more towards being someone who was right there, almost like just as close to being a part of your family as you could be without saying that element. Because of course you fight with your family and all that. I never had to fight with Dr. Broderick. Whatever she said, I would do. Anything she put in front of me, I was going to get it done. So I knew that she was the gatekeeper to my success. And then she would tell me, no, you're the gatekeeper to your success. So I took that to heart.
So kind of moving forward now a little bit, and let's start with maybe looking back just a little bit more than moving forward. What's the one piece of advice that you could give other ABD students out there, or you want them to know about your experience that you had the opportunity to experience?
I have a few people that I work with that are ABD for different reasons. And believe it or not, some of them are picking back up the torch because of my story, because of my journey. And I'm really glad that they're listening. So I would say that it's not too late. And just because one door closes, I know it sounds cliche, but just because that one door closes doesn't mean that another door can't open. But sometimes you got to go and knock on it, and sometimes you got to kick it open. And that's okay. It is definitely worthwhile. It is definitely not for the faint of heart. But if you've already made it so far to get towards ABD, if you've already made it to that point, what do you have to lose? Continue forward. Get that doctorate done. Get it done, and have that extra caveat at the end of your name or at the beginning, however you want to call it. PhD, or in my case, Dr. X. Because honestly, you will feel so alive, so much more accomplished by going through that journey. So don't stop. Even if you're feeling like you need to take a break, it's okay. Take a break. Talk to, I didn't mention these guys, but I have to talk about them too. The advisors, the academic advisors, talk to them too and say, hey, I need to take a pause. XYZ is happening in my life, and they will come along and they will talk to you. It's like, hey, I need to double up. They will work it out. They will talk with the rest of the staff and faculty to figure out what you can do in order to make sure that you succeed in the program. And actually, I did that as well. I did take a pause just for one quarter and doubled up on a couple of courses. Painful, but definitely worth it.
Good. That's some excellent advice. So kind of moving forward now, Dr. X, you've got all this knowledge and skills, and you're feeling good about yourself. You've finally got that boulder off your back, and you're ready to take on the world as a doctor. What do you plan to do? And I know this question was asked at your defense, but it's a very powerful question, and I think it's real important for others to hear your response. You have an obligation now, since you've earned this doctorate with all this knowledge and skills, to go out and help others. So, thoughts on plans to how are you gonna use your doctorate for the betterment of others?
If I may, I'll start from the middle, going for the idea of something that was brought up during the intensive: finish the work and then save the world. Well, I did, like you said, Dr. Riggle. I finished the work. Now it's time to save the world, so to speak. So how am I going to do that? My background in statistical analysis, something I didn't ever think I'd have, and research, but definitely helped not only my organization, but I've even had calls from some previous some colleagues that used to be a part of the organization saying, "Hey, well, I understand that you're done now. I'd love to collab with you on a couple of things." So I do plan on collaborating with a number of individuals. I honestly still feel like, hey, I'm a novice at it, but if they think that I can do it, I'm ready, and I know for the challenge. So this was just the new door that opened up, the new chapter. And I will continue to do research and look for ways to get published and help expand the idea, the area, the field of education and leadership where I can. So I'm always looking for opportunities.
Well, Xavier, you're certainly a passionate person about education, about helping others. And I think that passion helped carry you through this time to finish your doctorate. I'd like to say that, the university and the staff and faculty and resources, I'm sure they're strong, but it came down to you, that inner part of you to pull yourself through and get this done. I'm just very happy we were able to help with your journey here to finish your doctorate, and couldn't be more proud and want to congratulate you again. You certainly did a fine job in the program. Heard a lot from the DCP faculty about you, and I also heard a lot from your chair, who happens to be on the call right now, Dr. Broderick. So I'd like to bring her in to maybe share her thoughts or experiences and feelings with working with you in our DCP program. It's all yours, Dr. Broderick.
Oh, thanks, Dr. Riggle. This is a joy. Thanks so much for having us here. I couldn't be more proud, Xavier. I mean, I really, this is just, you do my heart good, as my mom would say. And Dr. Riggle, I have to say, Xavier's work is exceptional, right? We have amazing students here, but when we think about what you've done, Xavier, with language learning, I don't think a lot of people think about foreign language education. It's my jam, it's your jam, but a lot of people don't think about it as much. And in your line of work, the language learning that's going on, it impacts national security. It impacts global commerce. These are things people, it's incredibly important work. So really timely topic. Xavier's dissertation brought in virtual reality with language learning and in his context. Amazing. I just want to say, Dr. Riggle, like you mentioned, he's an amazing role model, and he's humble about his professional and his career in the military. Really amazing. Just a great attitude. So it's just been a joy, and thanks for your kind words about everything, Xavier. And we're just so proud of you.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Dr. B. I really appreciate it. I realized that the onus was on me, but that kick in the rubber part that you all gave me from time to time, that motivation that you got this onward and upward, it was another mantra that stuck with me. It's like, okay, I really can, just got to keep putting one foot in front of the other. Don't stop. And it's really that inspiration. It's infectious. The inspiration that you gave me, that the rest of the faculty and staff and you gave me, it is infectious. I literally got another email from another colleague of mine who's starting his doctorate in psychology, and he asked me for a referral, and as I would help him, give him some words of advice. And I'm thinking, wow, look at this. Even things that are outside of my field, for global language learning, people are looking for motivation, and it's wonderful to be a part of that journey with people.
Fantastic. It's that energy, right? It starts with the spark, and then, like you said, the work, you do bit by bit, and then you're done, and then you can inspire someone else. It is a beautiful thing that never ends. So fantastic.
Absolutely. And it's not over. It's just going to keep getting better. I know it is. So I'm just looking forward to seeing what's next.
That's exactly right. The doctorate's done, and then you open the new door to what's next. Well, thank you so much for including me today. Back to you, Sam.
Thank you all so much. Just getting to listen to this conversation has been really special. Xavier, your relationship with Dr. Broderick and your advice and your wisdom after walking through this program so diligently has been really, really cool to hear. And I'm sure for those listening or watching alongside of us feel the same way. And to those folks, be on the lookout for more stories from those in the NU community in the coming weeks. And until next time, goodbye.